What if I told you that focus on conversions was probably not the right ad setting for you? What if I told you that it's probably the reason why your ads are burning through a ton of money and your leads are more expensive than ever? Well, in this video, what I want to do is I'm going to show you this campaign, and we are sort of going to figure out whether we should run focus on conversions on this campaign or if we should just leave it as is. Now, before we get started, what I want to do is I also want to invite you to my workshop. I'm going to have a workshop tomorrow, and I'm basically going to lay down everything you need to know about getting high converting ads and how to set them up simply, even if you're a beginner, even if you're on a small budget, even if you don't really know what you're doing with Google Ads. You're exactly the right type of person for this workshop. So link is down below. I'm super hyped for the workshop, but what I want to do today is I just want to have a little bit of a talk about focus on conversions. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to share with you the simple framework that you can work through so you can figure out if you should apply focus on conversions to your own account. So let me just get that up on screen over here. I'm going to click here and I'm going to do this. All right. So the question is, should you run focus on conversions? Now, you want to ask yourself these three simple questions. The first question you want to ask yourself is your offer converting? So maybe you have ads, maybe your ads are running right now. The first question you want to ask yourself is, am I actually getting leads from this offer? Have I ever produced a sale from this offer? Have I actually got a customer or got any money from this offer? If the answer is no, then focus on conversions is probably not for you. If the answer is yes, well, let's check this campaign over here to see if it has been converting. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen over here. And as you can see over here, definitely, we are getting conversions if you look at this green block over here. So we know that the offer is converting, so that's a yes for us. All right, so criteria number 2. So we can tick the first box and we can say that yes, our offer is converting. The second thing that we need to ask ourselves is there any conversion history? Now, what do I mean by conversion history? Basically, if your offer has converted before and you have 30 conversions in the past 30 days, then you are okay to run focus on conversions. So any type of bidding strategy, especially the automated ones, they use AI. And in order for the AI to work properly, it needs good data. If the AI doesn't have any data, what's going to happen is it's going to guess, but it's going to guess with your money, which means you're going to get very expensive clicks. Most of those clicks aren't going to result in leads, and it's going to feel like your ads are not working, right? And so how do we check if we have enough conversion history? So I am going to share my screen once again, and we're going to look at the last 30 days. So I'm going to look at the last 30 days, and you'll notice that I don't have any conversions in the last 30 days in this campaign. So this is where this campaign would not be a good fit for focusing on conversions. Why? Because there's no data to feed the AI with. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, Devon, but you just showed me in all time that you have 136 conversions. Well, unfortunately for us, Google Ads AI works best when you have recent conversion data and also when you have correct conversion data. And I'll explain to you what that is. Let's say I'm selling an online course. And let's say every time somebody buys that online course, it counts as one conversion in my ads account. But let's also say there's a whole lot of conversions in my ad accounts. Like, for example, if somebody asks for directions, Google Ads counts that as a conversion. Maybe if somebody looks at one of my blog articles, Google Ads counts that as conversions. Because those aren't useful to me, and because I'm only interested in selling online courses, those conversions wouldn't really count. We just want valuable actions. And we want to train the AI on valuable actions because guess what? If I train it on people reading my blog article, The AI is just going to go out there and find more people who want to read my blog articles, not necessarily people who want to buy my course. If it's training the AI on somebody finding directions and I've got an online course and I don't have a store, then it's kind of useless to train the AI on that. So you have to also make sure that on top of having all of these conversions, you also have to make sure that your conversions are for the right thing. Now, if you feel kind of stuck with conversion tracking and you don't really trust someone on Fiverr or Upwork to do it for you, I've got a whole conversion tracking class. I'll link it down below. It's pretty good. It's got about 90 minutes of training. And you get to spend 7 days in my community and ask me anything you want about conversion tracking. So it's it's a steal of a deal. I think it's going for like $50. You can get it at the link in the description below. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to pretend that this account passed that test, and we're going to look at the third parameter. The next question that we need to ask ourselves is, we've got an offer that's converting. We've got conversion history, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The next thing we want to ask ourselves is the cost per lead okay? Does the cost per lead make sense, and is it actually profitable? So I'm going to go back again, and we're going to just check out this Google Ads campaign one more time. And so I'm going to go back to all time. And as you can see over here, in the yellow block, my cost per conversion is about $9, and the offer that I'm selling over here is about $900. So this is perfectly fine for me as a cost per lead. I can run ads all day long, and I know that my leads are going to be super cheap. So in this case, the third box, the third thing would have been ticked off, and I can say, yep, my cost per lead is fine. And only in that situation are you going to be able to focus on conversions, right? If you don't have these three things, then I do not recommend that you focus on conversions. And just to show you where that is, how you would go about doing that, you would click on the campaign, click on campaign settings, you would go down to your bidding, and you would make sure that your bidding is actually on focus on conversion. So we'll wait for it to come up over here. I'm going to say change bid strategy. I'm going to go over here, and I am just going to say recommended. There we go. Focus on conversions, just like that. Now, the final thing that I want to say is, if you read Reddit, if you look online, you're going to see a lot of agencies recommend you do it. You're going to see a lot of ad experts recommend that you use this powerful bidding strategy, but you need to make sure that you have those things in place. You can think about focus on conversions like a volume knob on your stereo or an amplifier. What it's going to do is it's going to take whatever's there and make it louder. It's going to take your ads and amplify them so that you can reach more people. But the caveat of this, and what Google doesn't tell you, and this is kind of why I hate Google, especially how they run Google Ads, is they make it sound like super easy. Like you're just going to change a setting, you're just going to get leads and the customers will start to flow. No, this is actually to make them more money. They're going to make a ton of money off of you, and you're going to be left feeling like Google Ads doesn't work because you're not matching these criteria. And they don't even explain this to you. It's just a switch. You flip the switch, and then all of a sudden you just find that your ads are losing money. So I always want you to be mindful of it. Any advice that you see online, that advice is great advice, but it might not be great advice for you, your unique business, and your unique situation. So you always have to take it with a grain of salt. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm running this masterclass. I'm running it tomorrow, and it's because that I know there are so many entrepreneurs that have great businesses, and all they have is the wrong ad settings and the wrong approach to Google Ads. And you can have the best business on earth, but if you don't have the correct approach and the correct strategy, you're always going to fail with ads, and it's always going to burn through your budget. So what I want to do is I want to invite you to my masterclass tomorrow. Like I said, it's linked down below. It's live. It's completely free. You can show up. You don't even have to interact. All you need to do is come willing to learn. And I guarantee you this, by the end of that masterclass, you're going to understand exactly what you need to do to build a high converting campaign. And since we're talking about bidding settings and ad strategy and all of that stuff, I highly recommend that you check out this video over here where I show you what to put in your ad so you can get more of the right people clicking on it. Really good video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.